camera off.
Oh well.
Here we go again.
Hey, sweetheart.
Anyway, they're around, and there's a bunch of snails. So I'm hoping that the green neon tetras would spawn, or yeah, they're sun-kissed. But there's also some pseudomugil. Honey, move. I don't think you can probably see them because they stay towards the top. But there's some pseudomugil Ivan, something like that.
I think that's right.
I see them. I
Ivan
can see them
Sulfite?
through the end back by the filter.
Yeah, there's a few of them, and I'm hoping that either the green neons or those pseudomugils will
Yep.
maybe spawn. I haven't had a spawning mop in this tank for very long. But yeah, I want to upgrade this to one of the 30-gallon tanks downstairs that currently has guppies in it. I want to move some fish around when I get my big tank.
Right. The 6 foot.
They're probably 5 foot. I want to move some things around, and one of the things I want to do is get them into a bigger tank because there's really too many green neons in here.
There's a lot of them.
Or to me, they look kind of crowded-ish. They're okay, but I would love to see how this big school of green neons does in a larger tank. And I think that 30-gallon, this is 2.5 long. The 30-gallon is 3 foot. It's only 6 more inches, but it's also a little bit taller.
Mm-hmm.
It's a few inches taller because I think that's maybe 4 inches taller than this or so. Anyway, I would think that it would be a nice upgrade. And I also have some more of the pseudomugils on order from Dan's Fish.
Did these school back and forth, or did they stay in one area?
It depends. They're kind of sparring with each other. The males are there's 2 males and I think there's 2 females, and they're kind of sparring. The males are kind of sparring with each other. I don't know that they really school so much.
They might if they had a longer place to go. The green neons.
Oh, you're talking about the green neons. The green neons do school.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. There's times that they'll swim underneath this wood here that's kind of stacked up, and they'll go back on that side, but they kind of hang out on that corner most of the time.
Oh, you've got hang-on backs on these.
I do. Mixed feelings about that.
Yep.
Definitely mixed feelings about that. So.
And they're aqua clears, I can see.
Yep. Oh, this thing has completely come off.
I hate it when they do that. And then I kind of like it in a way, but
I don't know. Mixed feelings. But yeah, these guys have a discus breeding cone because their fins are so long. I wasn't sure. The regular spawning cones that I have just look so short, so small compared to them. So I got them a discus breeding cone.
I should get a breeding cone for the pair of angels I have. They always spawn on the intake, the hang-on back intake, and then they always eat them.
Yeah, some of them just don't learn to parent raise. But these guys were parent raised. This dark blue Pinoy and Little Mama, my other dark blue Pinoy, those are my very first babies. Unfortunately, that spawn did not do well. That was my very first spawn after I started getting blue angels.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of discouraged because I had a pretty big spawn and only 2 lived.
Well,
But, I mean, those 2, at least this Little Mama over here in this 20-gallon, I mean, she's the mama of probably at least 150 or more baby angels so far that have lived.
for you that
So
time. I was ready for you.
and
that
then
time.
you never know what these guys are going to do. So, I mean, in a way, it was discouraging at the time that spawn didn't do so well. But even if these two could be the mother or father of, bunches and bunches of beautiful little blue angelfish. So who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah,
They're survivors.
they are. I
They're
bet you the platinum is the male in there, though. The more I watch them.
Really? Why do you
Yeah.
say that?
Lots of things. He's the overall shape of his body. He's got a hump, and the black one doesn't really. And also down at the tips of their ventral fins. The male looks like the platinum looks like he's about to split down there to grow some additional splits. And some of the OG fish keepers say that's a die-hard way. You can always tell. The black one's not. See, the black one's has grown out long and skinny, so that's the female.
Well, if the dark blue one is the female, then these guys are sisters.
Mm-hmm.
She'll end up being the mama.
I could be wrong, but if I had to sex them, that's the three things I would go by.
Time will tell.
Yeah, and see, she's a bigger fish too. They're close to the same age.
No,
They're not.
I've had the veil fin, the Philippine blue, for probably a good year and a half, at least older than the dark one.
Yes.
Oh, but she's bigger than him,
Yes.
so that's the female.
But I mean, yeah, I'll call him he for lack of better.
Gotta call it one or the other.
Yeah, he is from one of the very first groups of blue angels that I got. Zoe. So he's a good deal older because one of the blue angels, it was basically two of the other blues that I had ended up being this one's parents.
Mm-hmm.
That I got at the same time as him, ended up being her parents and little mama's parents. So this, what we think is probably a female. Her parents, the father was just a wide fin Philippine blue that was zebra striped, and the mother was just a solid dark blue Pinoy. And so all of the babies looked very similar. If you notice the dark blue with the quit trying to bite at me spots, kind of spotted pattern, is very, very similar to little mama who's hiding behind the filter.
No, I can't see them anyway from here.
But just their fins are different. Her
Yeah.
fins are much like
Longer.
just wider and longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's my favorite
But they're
because it's so blue.
Pretty.
the marble one over there.
Yeah, because it looks blue to me.
Yeah, I mean that's one of their offspring. So it's interesting as time goes by and you have a larger view of things in genetics. But it was so interesting because when these were born and they got to be old enough you could start to see their color and their pattern. All of them were the same. All of them were this kind of dark blue, but not quite as dark as the mama fish, but still, and they have this kind of pattern. But what's so funny is when little mama and big daddy over here started having babies, their babies are different colors because I'd say probably 2/3 of them are this blue marble, and many of them are pearl scale. So that this one, because this is one of their offspring, little mama and big daddy, this is one of their offspring. So I'd say 2/3 of them are this marble color,
Yeah.
and many of them are pearl scale, and then the other maybe 2/3 are a dark blue Pinoy, much like the mother, like little mama. So it's so funny that this group of babies from two parents that so many of them look so different, and then you start looking at the marble patterns and so many of those look different. So it's just kind of neat to see. You just don't know what you're going to get sometimes.
The genetics, yeah.
And then when these finally do have a successful spawn, I have no idea what those babies are going to look like. So that'll be neat to see.
These koi really are pretty too.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about koi is their color usually gets a little more intense as they get bigger and older. So sometimes when they're young, they don't look like they have much koi color, or they're just not very impressive until they get a little bit bigger.
All right. Well, thank you, Zoe.
Yeah, Zoe has to
And
have her say.
thank you, Tiffany.
You're welcome.
Ginger was
My
technical staff standing by.
Our tour assistant tour guide.
I'm talking